What's up, everyone? Back for another beer review, and today I will be reviewing a beer from the Terre Haute Brewing Company, and they are out of Terre Haute, Indiana, and this is their Toasted Coconut Velvet Cream Vanilla Milk Stout. So they are calling this one a Milk Stout that is brewed with Madagascar vanilla and lactose. It comes in at 5.6% alcohol by volume, 30 IBUs at the time of review. This can is just under 3 months old. I'm gonna give a huge thanks and shout out once again to a very good friend of mine and a viewer of the channel, Todd, for hooking me up with this one. So big thanks to him. In the description box, I'll throw a link to the beer malboxing video I did that contains all the goodies that Todd hooked me up with, and I can't thank him enough. He sent me 2 beers from this brewery, and we're going to refer to them as THBC the rest of the way because I'm terrible at pronunciations. But he sent me this one, I think, because Todd knows I love coconut of all kinds, and this sounds crazy. Now, here's an even crazier thing: is this? The name of it is Toasted Coconut Velvet Cream Vanilla Milk Stout, right? And on the back it says this beer is brewed with premium malts, flaked oats, Madagascar vanilla, and a late addition of lactose for a silky sweet body. Now, I don't usually read tasting notes, but it also says subtle notes of toasted coconut and vanilla balance the creamy characteristics of this exceptionally smooth vanilla milk stout. Nowhere did it say that there's actually toasted coconut in here. So did they just omit that they brewed this one with toasted coconut, or is there no toasted coconut here? I don't know. I'm assuming there's coconut and they brewed with it, even though, I said this is just only brewed with vanilla and lactose. It doesn't say it's brewed with coconut, so I have no idea. Anyway, never had anything from this brewery. The one thing I will say, we'll crack it open and give it a pour. The one thing I will say about a beer like this is most sub 6%, I don't want everything to go, it's filled to the top, it looks like. I don't want I don't typically love like sub 6% stouts and milk stouts, especially with adjuncts. They just usually aren't great. There's only a handful of beers that I really love, so I'm hoping that this is the exception and not the norm. Let's give it a pour here. All right, we'll go like that, something like that. That should be fine. It poured out pretty damn dark, honestly. Wow, for 5.6. Now, the one thing I will say with milk stouts that are lower ABV, a lot of times I think it's from the lactose. I get like a metallic kind of vibe. So we'll see if that also holds true here. Anyway, that poured out, like I said, pitch black. It was more like a dark brown, but in the glass, this is pitch black. Even in person, it's like almost pitch black. It's a really deep dark brown. Little bit of hints here that it isn't pitch black, but on camera it's gonna look pitch black. Has about a half finger, 3/4 of a finger of a straight up brown colored head. Looks very creamy. Yeah, looks like a really nice milk stout. Let's get a nose on here. All right. Now, with a beer like this, I took it right out of my my stout fridge or my bigger beer fridge that I typically keep at 52. So, with the preparation of the review and everything, this is probably like around 55, close to my cellar temperature here. I'm not getting a lot here. I'm getting a little bit of that metallic kind of vibe. Very slight. It has like a little bit of vanilla. There's chocolate. There's roasted malt. Yeah, definitely roasted malt, touch of coffee. It doesn't smell all that impressive, just being honest with you. It doesn't smell bad. It's just, there's a little bit of a generic stout kind of character. There's more of a bittering chocolate, roasted malt, a little bit of coffee, touch of vanilla, but they're not that boisterous. Again, 5.6%, always got to keep that in mind. This is, you can't sit here and say, oh man, that the nose isn't boisterous and bombastic and in your face when this isn't, 10%, this isn't 11%. So I can't expect that. I can't expect that out of the nose, and I'm not. But I wish there was a little bit more vanilla presence, and I also wish I got that toasted coconut. Doesn't smell bad in the least. It just doesn't smell anything that's going to blow my socks off. But hopefully I'm wrong. Anyway, let's get into it. Cheers, everyone. Thanks again, Todd. What can I say about this beer? It's a really nice milk stout. I'm not getting a ton of toasted coconut here. I am not getting a ton of vanilla. This is just drinking like a very smooth and easy drinking 5.6% milk stout. Body on this one's like medium, a little bit bigger for 5.6, impressive. The mouthfeel is absolutely superb. This is what you want out of milk stout. It has carbonation, lets you know that it is a beer. and it's a carbonated beverage, but it's really soft, smooth, and creamy on the palate. Like that lactose is definitely doing its job. From the palate, roasted malts, a little bit of chocolate. It's more of like a sweet dark chocolate, touch of coffee, kind of mocha vibes at the front of the palate, passes through. It's a touch of vanilla that kind of comes in, and for a second there, you get like a chocolate vanilla kind of mixture. That's really nice. And then on the back of the palate, finishes semi-dry with a mild bitterness. I mean, there's not a lot of bitterness here, and I don't expect it. Like if you just had me this and was like, here, this is our 5.6% milk stout, I'd be like, wow, this is really well done. I'm not picking up on any toasted coconut here, which is disappointing. I thought for sure. Like I'll tell you right now, if I was doing this blind, if he would have sent this as a whodunit beer, mystery beer, I would guess probably a 6 to 6.5% because of the body's a little bit bigger, maybe even close to 7 because it drinks a little bit bigger. Milk stout or like oatmeal stout, maybe an addition of chocolate. I wouldn't guess there's actual Madagascar vanilla in here, and I would not guess there's toasted coconut whatsoever. Yeah, I mean, this is really nice. Like I'm enjoying drinking this. This is not a bad beer. This is actually really good. Here's the thing. The fact that they're calling it a toasted, I mean, the name is crazy. Look at that name. Toasted Coconut Velvet Cream Vanilla Milk Stout. Like I was expecting, to at least get the toasted coconut, if not the vanilla. I'm only getting the vanilla. It's very minute. There's no toasted coconut. I don't know. I've always said this when it comes to my reviews. I'm not a guy that rates the style, and there's a lot of other beer tubers out there that always rate it within the style. And sometimes that's unfair, and sometimes that's fair, in my opinion. Because if I was to rate this to what they're telling me it is, this probably wouldn't get much higher than a 3. It's a good milk stout. It's a little bit of vanilla, but there's absolutely no toasted coconut. So the fact that toasted coconut is the first thing listed, disappointed from that aspect. Here's the thing. I really don't care drinking this right now because it's a really well-made milk stout. So that's where the ratings come in. I don't rate the style. I rate to how much I enjoy it. Sometimes I'll do the two, where I'm like, oh, stylistically, it should be here because maybe I don't like the style that much, or maybe I love the style and therefore, I should give it 2 separate ratings. For this one, I'm going to say if I rated it to what they say the adjuncts are, this is, again, 3 out of 5 at best. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to rate this to how I enjoy this one. And from THBC, their Toasted Coconut Velvet Cream Vanilla Milk Stout, that gets a straight 4 out of 5. It's a really well done milk stout. I enjoy it. I'm glad Todd sent it to me. Again, I wouldn't be able to tell you the toasted coconuts in here, maybe vanilla, but do I really care? Not really, because it's a really nice milk stout. Can't detect the alcohol whatsoever. The body is fantastic. I mean, the body's really great, but the mouthfeel is even better. And it's one I've mentioned this before a lot of times in like Treehouse beer reviews and other just amazing New England style IPAs that have just fantastic bodies and mouthfeels. I always say I would love to drink that beer just from the body and or mouthfeel alone. And this is one of those beers where I just love the mouthfeel and the body's fantastic. For something that's sub 6%, I just want to drink it for that alone, but the flavors are nice too. Not much more to say about it. Price point availability, have no idea. So Todd, let me know what you paid for this one. I would say that if a 4-pack of this is more than because it's 5.6%, like more than like $14 to $16, I'd be disappointed. I'd like to see it in like a $12, $14 range. But I would, if it's 16 would be the max that I would be willing to pay to try something like this. And availability, I have no idea. So Todd, please let me know the what you paid for this one and the availability, at least as far as you know, or if anybody out there is in the Indiana or the state of Indiana or in the Terre Haute. I don't know if I said that correctly again. If you're around that city, let me know if you know how far they get as far as distro goes. Yeah, so once again, 4 out of 5 for this beer. If you had it before, post in the comment section. Let me know what you think about it. Todd, huge thanks to you for this beer. I have one other beer from them. It is a what's it called? The Rose, and it's a Belgian strong dark ale, and I'm really interested to see what that one's all about. Almost 11%, so I'm really curious about that one. Anyway, appreciate everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. To the next one. Cheers.